Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome to another edition of the Brothers of Legacy. I am the hostess with the mostest, Mr. A.D. Walker, the pusher, the grower, the motivator. So I appreciate you guys rocking with us. My podcast people, I appreciate you guys listening and being a part of this amazing broadcast. It is Friday. I know sometimes we play games on Friday. I know. But today we're not playing games. We're not playing any games today. We have an amazing guest. He's going to be talking about house flipping and rentals. He's our first, and he definitely won't be our last. We're going to have him back. Amazing brother, my man, Kaneem Curvey. And we're going to have him on. My other brother should be rolling through soon. So as always, I appreciate you guys rocking and hanging with us. And as always, make sure you share. Sharing is caring. Sharing is caring. And make sure you guys are a part of that hot dog. Make sure you're part of that. And we look forward to let's see, let's change that, and send that. All right. So make sure you guys are a part of this change. You know how I even did it with our own text. So you know how you're texting something and you text it, you type it out, but you never hit send. And you're like, why they never respond to me? Look like, oh, because the text is still sitting there. So all my my people that are on the text service, there you go. I just sent out the text. So make sure you that's probably why you're getting a little late. So that is on me. So make sure you join and share. Sharing is caring. All my podcast people, thank you for being a part. Make sure you rate and review. As always, we come on Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we talk about all things male and black men especially. But I appreciate you guys. So stay tuned, stand back, stand down. We're going to drop this intro. We'll be right back. And if it's your first time here, be sure to sign up. Speaking of text service, join our text community. Text LWN to 84576. Text LWN to 84576. And never miss an episode of what's going on with the Legacy Walker Network. And that is it. That is all. And like I just said, we'll be right back after this. I didn't want to catch that. Good morning. Welcome to another edition of Good morning. What's up, everybody? This episode is brought to you by StreamYard. Ready to go live? Go to bit.ly/StreamYard BOL. That's bit.ly/StreamYard BOL. This episode is also brought to you by Self. Build credit now. Go to bit.ly/now build credit. bit.ly/now build credit. All right. Where my people's at? All right. So coming to the stage, my brother, Mr. Kaneem Curvey. What's up, my brother? Good morning.
How you feel, brother?
I'm good. Trying to figure out where my brothers is at this morning. They are MIA. I got some other guests coming. I don't know what's going on this morning, but we're gonna keep it moving. Thank you, Lisa. Good morning to you. Blessed to you. Thank you for sharing. Miss Deborah in the building. Great morning to you. And yes, happy Friday. So we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna just kick it off. Get into the conversation. So Mr. Kaneem Curvey, he's if I'm not mistaken, all of his investments come from himself. I'm not sure if he's collaborated with any other investors, or have all investments come directly from you or your household, basically, or have you collaborated with other investors?
I have done some collaboration.
Oh, nice.
For the most part, they all come from myself and my wife.
Okay. Awesome. So let's talk about house flipping.
Okay.
So what was your initial interest in getting into house flipping? What kind of drew you to it?
Oh man, I've been interested in real estate for a while, so it's
Okay.
been kind of, I mean, like I can go all the way back to some of your listeners or your podcast members might remember Carlton Sheets.
Oh man, yeah, yeah. And he would always say, "This is the time right now to get in the market." Right?
So I go all the way back there, man. I
Yeah.
mean, I was in my early 20s, man. I went
Okay.
and bought the little package and
Right.
got everything, and I'm reading the little cards and
Okay.
I'm
Okay.
trying to go through it, and I mean, but at that time, I was so young and immature, and
Hey,
my
mama.
mind was moving faster than my feet. So I was like, okay, I'm running in my mind, my feet is just dragging. You know what I'm
I got you. I got
saying? So yeah, I mean, but I'm been interested in real estate for over 20 years, but I
you. Okay.
got into it. I seriously got into it back in 2012, I believe. Yeah,
Okay.
back in 2012. I bought my first rental property.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, I bought my first rental, and it was a townhome over there off Terra Boulevard.
Right.
And I think I purchased it for 42,000.
Oh
Yeah, I
nice.
purchased it for I financed it though, so I put like $14,000 down.
Okay.
And but I had that one for maybe 2 years. And and when you don't know what you don't know,
Right.
it kind of bites you a little bit. So when I
Mm.
first got it, I was anxious,
Okay.
and I did some of the homework, but I
Uh-oh.
didn't do enough of the homework.
Okay. Okay. Uh-oh.
So
All right.
once I got into it, found out once I got to closing,
Right.
HOA.
Oh,
And
shit.
I'm like, oh, that's something that I did not educate myself on was the
Right.
HOA. And I
Okay.
think it was like, I want to say it was like $48 a month
Okay.
for the HOA. I mean, it wasn't ridiculous.
I know,
I
but
mean,
that's a fee.
but
That's now
yeah,
that's
yeah, but in
you
my
haven't considered.
calculations, I'm like, okay, I
Okay.
know my monthly note is only
Okay.
$288.
Okay.
So I'm like, okay. But with this HOA, now I'm up to 300 and something, which is taken away from some of my profit. Even though I had the mortgage was, I was renting out for 850.
Okay.
So
Okay.
my mortgage was 280 plus the $48. You know what I'm
Nice.
saying? Do the
So you're
math.
making a decent profit, or at least a low profit and something to hold just in case something happens on the property.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
got
I
you.
mean, when you calculate maintenance,
Hmm.
insurance, and other incidentals,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? So you gotta kind of prepare yourself
Right.
for the unseen.
Yeah. Yeah.
So when you're doing that, I mean, you just basically you kind of like putting away 25%. Well, that was my formula. I'm putting away 25% of my profit for
Okay.
the unforeseen. So that's
Okay.
why, in case anything happens,
Right.
just my luck. Anything happened, the first 2 months it was there. The neighbor next door, so it was a 2-level townhome,
Right.
but the washer and dryer is on the second level.
Right.
And the neighbor next door had a leak, which
Wow.
leaked into my unit,
Wow.
and the tenant that was there, so the ceiling got all messed up,
What's up,
I
Cole?
mean, and all that. So
What's up?
it was a learning process from that point on. But those are those incidentals, but it happened so quickly that I
Right.
didn't have a nest egg for
Right.
the incidentals, so they was just coming straight out the pocket, you know.
Right.
But that was a learning curve. So I
Okay.
had that one for about 2 years, man. Then I sold it.
Okay.
So I bought it for 42, and I sold it for 73. So I
Wow.
made. I mean, once you do closing costs and all that, I probably walked away with like $16,000, something like that.
Nice.
But it wasn't a loss. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right. That's yeah.
So
Walk away.
I went through all that, and I guess I chilled for a little bit, and
Right.
then I was looking for my next one,
Okay.
but my uh, girlfriend at the time, this is before I met my wife,
Right. Okay.
girlfriend at the time, she was a real estate agent, so
Okay.
she was trying to, see about getting me different little properties to go look at because
Hey, Cheryl.
I had got lucky on my first one.
Right.
So, but then we end up getting into it, and my little resource, my little resource for my well for looking for properties kind of
Right.
went away. But I
Right.
was working full time, so
Right.
I was leaning heavily on the information that she was getting me. You know, what I'm saying?
Right.
'Cause I ain't got no information, so
Right.
now it's kind of like I got to do it on my own. But I'm still working full time, and I was going to school at the time too, so it was kind of hard. But
Gotcha.
I was
Gotcha.
just going through the motions, and then in 2013, my mom passed away. So when my
Wow.
mom passed away, she had
Right.
paid for her house free and clear. So I was under the impression, like, I was like, should I sell my mom's house or should I rent it out? And then I was talking to my aunts, and they was like, no, you better keep your mama house, this, that, and third. But not knowing that, sometimes family ain't got your best interest. They,
No, that's right. You're
so
right.
it
One.
was yeah, it was undercover that they wanted to go and actually live in the house for free.
Keep that house, baby. Keep that. You might need someone to
Yeah,
live
yeah,
there or
yeah.
something.
So
Right.
that was the undercover motive for keep your
Keep
mama
it
house.
out. Right.
Keep
Right.
But
Wow.
it was in Texas, so I ended up keeping it. Make a long story short,
Right.
Mhm.
I got some tenants in now.
Okay.
Uh, so this was my first experience
Hey,
doing
kids.
long distance landlord. So
Okay.
I'm landlording from a long distance.
Right.
So first tenants that first tenants that got in there, it was I did this credit screenings through an online service,
Okay.
and so it was kind of like I said, when you don't know what you don't know,
Okay.
you get. You know what I'm
Uh-oh.
saying? So I
Mm.
didn't screen the screening service.
Ah,
You get what I'm saying?
I got you. I
So,
got you.
so
Yeah.
they got me some tenants, but once they got in there, I mean, like I guess it was like second or third month they came up late. Then they made the payment,
Right.
but they were late.
Got you.
And you ain't been there 6 months and you already late. So
Oh my
that
God.
just gave me a little insight on how this was gonna work out.
I got you.
I guess and they only had a 1 year
Mm.
lease. I said out of that 1 year, well, make a long story short, they had to go. They didn't. We didn't renew the lease. Blah blah blah. And they had missed like. I mean, they was late like 4 times,
I
so they
got you.
never did really catch up. So
I got you.
anyway, I did my due diligence. Got another screening service. Got some more tenants in there,
Right.
and those tenants stayed now 5 years. So
Wow.
with no issues, no late payments. And
Right.
this was during Hurricane Harvey and all
Right.
that. You know what I'm saying? But didn't even though we had all this catastrophic events happening in Houston
Yeah.
with the hurricanes and floods and all that,
Right.
never missed a payment, never was late,
Nice.
none
Nice.
of that. You know what I'm saying? So me being gracious, I went ahead and gave them a discount on 2 of their months, like I said, because the rent was $1,000 a month.
Right.
So I just cut it in half, like y'all give me five, you know what I'm saying? So I did that for 2 months. Because I
Wow.
mean, they still had, things going on, and it was free and clear. So that $1,000 a month was $8,000 a month. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
So
Nice.
long story short, got that out of it. Started, got tired of doing that.
Okay.
The long distance landlord.
Right. So yeah. So Dwayne asked. Yeah. So did you use a property management company? So you didn't use
No,
any companies. You did it
no,
yourself.
no property management company, all self managed.
Okay.
So if it had any maintenance issues, I had to call. But I'm from Houston, so I
Right.
got contacts, and you know what I'm
Right.
saying. I got all kind of boots on the ground. You know what
Right.
I mean? So
Right.
it
People
was
right by the house. Right.
yeah,
Right.
yeah, easily. So I mean, I they didn't have to worry, but they were great tenants though. Like they took care of the house like it was their own.
Right.
I mean, they was planting flowers, and I mean,
Nice.
they was
Nice.
good tenants. You did.
Right. Right.
But
Okay.
anyway, I got rid of them. I can't say got rid of them.
Right.
Got ready to sell
Okay.
mom's house because I'm thinking about doing something different. So
Gotcha.
end up selling the house. Uh, and it was a great time to sell it.
Okay.
So from that aspect, it was worth. When I first got the house in 2013, I think it was appraised at 90,000.
Okay.
So over that 5 year span,
Right.
it was just going up and up and up and up and up and up and up. And
Right.
I was like, okay. Well, so when I sold it for 160. So
Okay. That's
I was
good.
like, okay, that
Have
was
Let me
good.
ask you a question. So going to like Dwayne's, question about the property management company. Have you ever, during the course of having the house, did you ever consider having a property management company oversee it? Because to me, what it looks like, of course, you don't know until you know,
Yeah,
but to me, it looks like, hey, you guys take care of it. I guess they get a cut or somehow probably a piece of the
10%.
rent.
It's
Um,
usually 10%.
oh, that doesn't seem bad,
Well, I mean that's high, but that's a standard of 10%. I mean,
right?
and it depends
Hey,
on how many
Richard,
units you got. So if you only
right,
got one unit,
right.
then 10% is going to be it. But I mean, if you got 30,
Step
40, 50, 60,
Right. Yeah.
that percentage is going to come down. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
So,
Okay.
but no, I never. I mean, make a long story short, I've never used a property. Well, I'll take that back.
Okay.
Take that back. I did use one, but they were so disorganized, man. I mean,
Really?
anytime
What's up,
the
fam?
now usually when I did my due diligence on the property management. So
All right.
usually when you got a contract with a property management company, it's
Right.
a certain dollar amount that you give them discretion to,
Okay.
like 250,
Okay.
500,
Right.
anything that's less than 5 or 250, you go ahead, give me an invoice, anything over that,
Right.
a phone call needs to be made.
Right.
Some kind of communication needs to be made.
Right.
So,
Right.
but with these folks, don't
Uh-oh.
get me wrong, they kept it under the 250,
Okay.
but
Okay.
it was like almost 250 weekly. Like it was something was going on. But we need to change the lights. We need to
What?
change the lock on the front door. The
What?
back sliding glass. It was
Wow.
always something. It was always something going on. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right. Right.
It was like it was nickel and dime and everything. I'm like, dude,
Wow.
because my whole thing, if you going in there, because usually if they inspect it, well,
Yeah.
they're supposed to inspect it when they
Right.
get the contract of the property, get a itemized list of all
Right.
maintenance issues
Right.
that need to be addressed, and they
Right.
give it to you.
Right.
And if you get them all done,
Right.
you shouldn't have to be nickel and dime because okay, this is your list. It's gonna be $1,100 to fix this,
Right.
and we're gonna get it all done. And then you should be kind of like maintenance free for a
Right.
minute
Right. Right.
unless
Right.
some unforeseen happen.
Right.
They wasn't doing it like that. So,
Gotcha. So that's
but
that's interesting
I had
because
to
you
let
got
you
the
know. So,
you got the 10% right, and then you got the maintenance, which and then I realized they do probably the maintenance. So in essence, whatever they're asking you for, they're getting in a
what
sense.
if they have their own crew
Right.
on
Got it.
staff, then
Right.
probably so. But if they contracting it out, then But
Right.
most property management companies will say they got their own crew, but they usually subcontract.
Ah.
You know what I'm
Of
saying? They
course.
Okay.
just make a phone
Of
call. Hey,
course.
hey Johnny, can you go over here and you
Right.
know and let me know how much it costs?
Hmm.
And I'm gonna put $20 on top of that.
Right. So they make
Whatever
something
you
and
fix, I'm
Yeah,
gonna
they
make
make
sure
money
I
off it.
fix
Yeah.
it.
right.
Hmm.
So that's how
Okay.
that goes.
So it's trying to find a reputable, someone that got your interest. Right. Like
Yeah,
Dwayne said, they were for the people. Then I need you to protect me,
yes,
not
yes.
make me go broke. Try to
Yeah,
make sure this property is kept
yeah.
up.
It's like they just trying to drain you dry. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? But I mean,
Right.
and it's all about the circle, man. Once you get into the network
Right.
or get into real estate
Right.
and network with other people that's in real estate, and like I say, I didn't take my lumps. By no means am I a master at this real
Right.
estate thing. So I don't
I
want
hear that.
nobody to get that confused. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? I'm gonna say I'm a novice
Right.
at best. You
I
know what I
got you.
mean?
I got
But
you.
but I have learned a lot of lessons that if you can get into the tradesman craft
Okay.
and network with the tradesmen,
Uh-huh.
those will be your biggest assets if you're in the real estate. Like, don't get me wrong, You got to find the deal or the property.
Right.
That's key.
Right.
But if you can get them tradesmen to be on your team and give you, you know, good rates on their labor, because
Okay. Okay.
material is going to be material.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So you just got to pay what you got to pay.
Right.
But their labor can fluctuate because you don't know what nobody time is worth.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
Right. So
that's really the key.
Yeah.
so if you get with someone that can see like longer term partnership, they're not charging you out the wazoo. They're trying to like build a relationship. They know that working for you is going to give me a lot of work.
No,
They
not working for me,
right.
working
Working
with
with
me.
right.
With,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. I
Yeah,
like
With.
with. Let's change that verbiage.
not
With.
working for me.
Right.
No, because my whole thing, like I got this little, I guess you could call it, it's an idea or a concept
Okay.
of getting a group of tradesmen and people who are, kind of like, I guess, infatuated with real estate or have something,
Okay.
some hands-on
Right.
attempt at it.
All
You
right.
know what I'm saying? To get in there and actually give, become a investment club.
I got you. A partnership almost.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's a joint venture,
Right.
but it's not really a joint venture because it's like one individual. Okay, just hypothetically,
Yeah.
you got a electrician,
Uh-huh.
plumber,
Uh-huh.
you got an HVAC, you got a carpenter, and at best you got a jack of all trades. I
Uh-huh.
mean, for your punch list. But that's
Right.
the guy. After everybody has done their trade duties, at
Right.
the end when you get ready to make it all beautiful, you got a
Right.
guy that come in there and kind of go in there and caulk all the seams and
Right.
put all the covers on the receptacles and
Right.
maybe hang ceiling fans and
Right. Right.
you know what I'm saying?
I
The
got you.
end,
I got
the
you.
beautification. So you get all these guys together, and as they come in, they give you pay material costs. Now this is
Hmm.
in the club, so you pay the cost of material, and
Right.
most tradesmen get a discount. So you
Right.
get you they discount to get material, and
Right.
they give you a discount on their labor, maybe be
Right.
10%, 15%, but
Right.
it rotates.
Right.
So out of this club, let's say you got 10 people.
Right.
Out of this club, you may not have money for the down payment, but being in this club, okay, I'm
Right.
gonna give you $20,000 to get the down payment on the house.
Right.
Then it's your turn. You know what I'm saying? So I'm loaning you the money at, let's say, instead of you going to a hard money lender or a private lender outside the club, I'm not gonna charge you 7, 8, 10%, 12%. I'm only gonna charge you 5 because
Okay.
we in this club. So I done gave you the $20,000 down payment, but now everybody else is still doing their work. So you got your construction costs.
Okay.
So and it depends on how detailed the construction is. So if you're doing a full gut rehab or I would for those that are new, stay away from that. If you don't know nothing, if you
I
don't
got it.
know nothing, because like I say, I took my lumps.
Right. So yeah. So hold on, because I like that concept. We're gonna dig back into that like towards
Go
the
ahead,
end.
go ahead,
But
bro. Go
that's
ahead,
that's
bro.
good, man. I like that idea of kind of coming together, giving discounts on a loan, and kind of working together to build something. But still keeping the same. You're giving a loan. You're not just charging me a full percent. You charge me half, and everybody's having an opportunity to invest into the
Correct.
property and earn
Yes,
something
sir.
back.
Everybody wins.
Yeah. So I like that concept. So Dwayne asks, he asks, can we ask, where did you fall on your face? Like, what was some of the missteps in property? I know you mentioned not researching enough of like HOA. That was a
Yeah.
big one.
Oh yeah.
What was
The
what
big,
was some of the other missteps that you might have made?
the biggest was contractors.
Okay.
So let's say, for instance, got a house,
Uh-huh.
paid 80,000 dollars for
Mm-hmm.
it. The after repair value is gonna be 275.
Okay.
So, but it's a full good rehab. And I'm going to tell you about the lumps. Got to take the lumps.
Right.
So the contractors that I chose was a general contractor. So general contractor, they kind of like oversee everything. So I got my scope. I got my scope of work. Got my estimate, my quotes on how much the dog gonna cost.
Right.
It's gonna be $106,000.
Right.
So we going through all this, and where the whole issue is that when the market is hot, most contractors, they got more than one job going on at a time.
Okay, gotcha.
So how my experience is that you got the contract I chose. Excuse me. He got multiple jobs going on. So the jobs, he trying to do all these jobs at the same time, but somebody got to wait.
Right.
Right. Ain't enough. Ain't got enough crews to go around to do 4-5 jobs. You know what I'm saying? So when I was being diligent. Now this was a referral. This ain't nothing I just went on online and been like, hey, I need a GC. You've been reviewed 4-5 times, man. This was a referral.
Right. I got you. So we was like, okay, this is gonna work.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So I went with them, but and you know, it all started off good. You know what I'm saying? They went over there, demoed, got everything knocked out, you know what I'm saying, got it down.
Right.
Got studs and took all the siding off. They getting ready to wrap, put the roof on there.
Okay.
Brand new roof and everything, then stop. Like it was like, you know how you see that red light, it was just yellow, but then that red light comes.
Right.
Stop. Just like literally stop. And I guess they didn't show up to the job site for like 2 weeks.
Right.
Now I got an 8-week timeline.
Right.
And they don't show up for 2 weeks.
Wow.
So you already behind the gun. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
So to answer your question, where do you fall short?
Right. That was it. Contractors.
And that was me getting the GC, but now I'm like, because I'm looking for a property. Well, I'm always looking, but being that the market is so inflated right now,
very much so.
Like I just sold one.
Yeah.
Now it only appraised for $242,000.
Right.
But I put it on the market for $260,000. Wow. So the guy was like, okay. I was like, and we went all through all this, and then I was like, hey, he was like, I asked the realtor to see if he would pay the overage.
Right.
For the $260,000.
Right.
Man, he was glad to bring that $18,000 to the table.
Wow.
Over appraised value. That lets you know what type of market we in.
Right.
When you pay $18,000 over what the house is truly worth.
Right. Without a problem. Wow.
You in a hot market. So I'm like, I can't. And I deal with a bunch of wholesalers, and the information they be sending me all the time be like, you got this house. They want like over there by Mercedes-Benz Stadium because you know Atlanta's just hot. It don't matter where you at. It's hot. You know what I'm saying? So he's sitting one over there by Mercedes-Benz Stadium, and I think he wanted like $216,000 for it. Wow. And it's look just like it did in 1950. Wow. I mean, with depreciation and natural fatigue from all the years of not being updated.
Right.
But that repair value is only $300,000.
Wow.
Now you want to say me, but it needs $80,000 worth of repairs.
Wow.
Where's my profit?
Right.
I'm supposed to do all this for $4,000.
Right.
That don't even make sense. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, but that's just the market right now, man. It's hot. It's real hot. And I look at because I do a lot of driving around the metro area, so I'm always looking for something. If I see an address, I go ahead and snap a picture of the address, the mailbox, the street, and I send them a letter.
Right.
Are y'all interested in selling? Blah 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 blah. You know what I'm saying? I mean, because that's the only way I'm gonna really get a deal for myself is if I find it myself.
Okay.
Because the wholesalers, they're gonna put their tag automatically, and being that the market is so high, I mean, the normal rate should be like $5,000. maybe $10,000 for a wholesale.
Right.
Right.
But if you putting $20,000 on top of it, $25,000 on top of it, and it's already inflated because they know the market is hot. They know that people are buying over the appraised value and they're not caring.
Gotcha.
You know
Let
what
me
I'm
ask.
saying?
Let me ask you this then.
So go ahead, bro.
Okay, so we talked about you talked about the contracting, so that was like the main thing that we need to
That
watch
is
for because
the main.
the main the
The
main.
man.
So in essence, like if you got a contractor in your pocket, someone
Yes,
that's good,
yes,
that's your main, like you on the right track. Right.
yes,
Okay.
yes.
All right. So would you say that's almost higher than knowing the property? Like even if you miss out on some of the little stuff, having a good contractor can kind of
Well,
balance it, or would you say knowing the property is one? What would you say
I like
more?
the way you asked the question. Let me say that. I like the
Yeah.
way you asked the question. But to answer the question, it is not on the same level
Okay.
as the purchase of the
Okay.
property. You really make your money when you buy the property. It's best to have equity when you purchase, period.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The key to the contractor is
Right.
making sure that you keep your equity
Right.
and
Right.
not appreciate the property more. You feel what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
Because the
Right.
contract is there to beautify and raise the value of the property.
Right.
But if you already have equity in it when you buy it,
Right.
it's kind of hard to lose because you can be like, okay, I bought this house in Stone Mountain
Right.
for $100,000,
Right.
Mm-hmm.
and it's straight. I mean, it could go as a rental right
Right.
now. Like I don't got to do nothing but put a tenant in. But the what's going on, brother? But the appraised value is 130.
Okay.
You feel what I'm saying? So you
Yeah.
already got $30,000 in equity as
Okay.
soon as you bought it.
Right.
Oh wow.
So
Right.
I mean, you could,
Hey,
but
Keita.
go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. I'm just saying hey to my people
Oh,
that came in the room.
oh yeah. So
Yeah.
you already got $30,000 as soon as you bought it.
Okay.
Once you do that, you can be like, okay, and you put it. You can put a tenant in it, or you can hold it until you. Usually, when you close it, they give you maybe it depends on if they put your note in the closing. But usually,
Right.
you got 60 days before you pay your first payment. So soon as you buy it, you can go ahead and be like, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and put it back on the market. And if you're already networking, you be like, hey man, I got this over here. It's almost like a wholesale, but you all actually went through the close.
Right.
You hear what I'm saying? It just depends
Okay.
on what you want to do with it.
Okay.
And if you do
Mm.
do the repairs, you can be like, okay, if I go ahead and put marble or quartz or update the kitchen cabinets and
Right.
I do flooring and new fixtures and if I do, I mean, it just depends on the area. But if I put $30,000 into this house, it's
Right.
already worth 130.
Right.
But if I put 30 in it, maybe I can sell it for 180.
Right.
And so instead of me having already 30,000, now I got 50
Right.
because I got 130 in it,
Right.
but it's worth 180.
Right.
So I didn't increase. You feel what I'm saying?
I got you saying. Okay. Okay. So and Pastor mentioned he has some. What's your experience with contractors as well? What's some advice you can give on that space? I can't hear you. You are on mute, my brother. Let's see. Hold on. Yeah, this you muted it.
First of all, I appreciate all this information, man. I've been in the
Yeah.
background taking copious notes, bro. But a couple of things I wanted to hit, like with the contractors, in a lot of cases, you have to be careful because there's certain contractors that are just out to make their money and they have no interest in how much money you make. So,
Right.
so that matters, right?
Okay.
You want a contractor
Okay.
that's part of the team. Because when you win, they win, so that they can be
Right.
invited back for
Like you
another
mentioned.
project,
Right.
right? The other part you just
Right.
talked
All right.
about, Kaneem. You talked about the profit, the margins in the property. You got 130 in. It's actually what you get 130 in. It's worth 180, and your margins can increase. do you still also have to be careful of the comps in the neighborhood? Because you can put marble countertops and all of that in a house, and you want 180 for it, but the comps in the neighborhood are hovering at 150.
Ooh, real good question.
Oh, yes. Yeah, I mean, you have to be. You don't want to out renovate the area.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So,
Okay. Makes
I mean,
sense.
you're not
Right.
going to put a crystal chandelier and and everybody else is using LEDs, and you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, I mean, Pastor is correct on that. I mean, you can do too much
I've seen that.
if you're in
Yeah.
an area that is not
Like, why is that
for
out
that.
here?
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean,
You're like looking in the neighborhood. You're like, what?
and
All right.
usually when we looking, we will look at, let's say we go to realtor.com
Okay.
or we go to Redfin or something like that, and I see a house, right? I see a house. I go in there and look at the houses that have sold recently, and if the pictures are still up, I'll see what they did to the renovations.
Right.
So when I look and
Hey,
see what they
Cheryl,
did
I'm
with
on
the
it.
renovations, I keep it similar
Right.
to what they did because I want to get the same dollar amount
Right.
that they did.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? So that's how you kind of like stay in that market. You know what I'm saying? It's just you don't want to be putting gold foil on. You know,
I got
when
you.
you ain't that ain't the area you want to
Yeah.
do it in. You
I
feel what
got
I'm
you.
saying?
So
So yeah, that's what
And
I look at what sold in whatever house I'm looking at. I
right.
look at what's sold in that area and the renovation they have in that area, and I
Right.
mimic it, but it just might be a different color. It
Right.
might be, you know what I'm saying, but I'm mimicking
Maybe it
success.
fits into the neighborhood.
That's key because in a
Right.
situation like that, nobody cares about how much pride you have in the work that you did.
Right.
They're still going to be looking at what's in that neighborhood, and that's one of the grave mistakes that people can make is you want to make your house in this neighborhood stand out amongst all the other houses, and comps are comps. Nobody cares. So there has to be some level of consistency. I mean, and
Yeah.
I asked that question because of having made mistakes like that.
Wow. Trying to hook it up. Trying to hook it up.
Well,
I'm gonna hook this
Yeah,
up.
well, I mean,
because you go in there, and that's what I was telling my wife. Because you go in there, you go with this feeling like, oh yeah, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that, we're gonna make this a smart home, we're gonna do this. And I'm like, hold on, sweet.
We got
Is
money.
anybody else in the neighborhood smart?
Right.
Yeah, it's funny though, but to your point though, Pastor. We remember Hammer's mansion in the Bay Area. The story was he bought it for $10 million, but he couldn't sell it for more than $6 million.
Wow.
So, I think he had the intent, like you said, Pastor, to have his house stand out amongst his whole neighborhood.
Right. Right.
And because of all the cons that was in there, and the house it was estimated for being, it's like, well, you got all this elaborate stuff, all this gaudy stuff. It's not necessary. It doesn't bring up the property of your doesn't bring up the value of your property. It basically just does nothing. In fact, you wasted money. And it's amazing seeing those mistakes.
So let me ask this. So say, because not really, I guess, like maybe a pre-gentrification area, like, a part of the neighborhood looks like it's changing, but the other part, for lack of a better way of putting it, is still in the 1950s, So, and right now, like we say, Pastor, with the comps or the pricing, so everyone get a clarification with the pricing, we're still on the 1950s side, there's still, those numbers are there, but the houses, we're up to like three nice houses and just like 6 average, you know what I'm saying? So and now you're in the middle of it. Let's just say literally, like on one side is the maybe the new, what the neighbor's gonna look like, and the other side is what the neighborhood currently looks like.
Yeah.
Do you risk trying to look like the new part, or do we kind of keep our house looking like the rest of the neighborhood? Or is it about how long we trying to hold this property?
It's both.
Okay.
Right. I mean, Kaneem, you're more of an expert than I am, but I would think that if there's any movement towards, next generation development of properties, you want to
Right.
head in that direction. You don't want to outpace anybody, but you do want to head in that direction because it brings the value of the neighborhood up, and more people will begin to do that because that's
Right.
that's the goal anyway, to ever increase the property value. But
Yeah.
it does matter how long you plan on having the property, right? You can put too much in a property that you have no intention of holding very long, and that's a mistake too.
Right.
If there's
It's
no
funny
long-term
you-
plan for the property, then
Yeah. No, I was gonna say it's funny you asked that question, AD, because I think of New York during the 90s and early 2000s. I think how they brought up property value.
Right.
Because I remember when I visited there in 1991, I was seeing a lot of underdeveloped areas, but I was seeing pockets of new development.
Right. That happened in
And
Chicago, too.
yeah.
Yeah.
And my jaw dropped in 10 years seeing those small developments
Right.
in the midst of sheer extension, it looks like, all turn into how they all looked as they all were developed.
Right.
And and I think that it's interesting to see how people who try to flip houses like that, how they try to jump the, I guess you could say jump the trend, so to speak. It's like, okay,
I mean, if you're looking
this might
for
be a good place to
long-term
build.
residual income,
Yeah.
right? If you're looking for long-term residual income on rental properties, right? And I'll tell you, when it comes to rentals, Lord have mercy. Well, in our experience, it's finding the right type of tenants,
Right.
Phew. 100.
because that's been the biggest bane of my experience with my wife and her real estate business is what tenants do to the properties and how you have to continue to reinvest
Right.
in the property after they leave and all the damage. And so because we don't like peeking in on people. I don't like,
Right.
hey,
Right.
you want to come do an inspection? No, this ain't the state. That's not what you rent the property, take care of the property, but you have to have in your mind that there is you're going to have to make investments, because in a lot of cases, renters will not have owner mentality,
Right.
right? They
Of
will
course.
come in, use the property, do
Yeah.
what they do, and then leave, and then you're stuck with having to fix things. And the other thing is, and so I was just trying to respond to Gambian there.
Yeah.
Does it matter if you do too much? To Kaneem's earlier point, you don't want to do too much you have to be careful how much you do for a property that you're not going to live in. Like, I always keep in the mindset, like, could I live here? Right. I get it to the point where I know I could live in it.
Right.
Because I don't
right.
want to
Like
disserve,
the basics.
I don't want to disserve anybody.
Right.
If I can live in it, you should be able to live in it, because I have a pretty good standard of
Turning
living.
into a smart home is like, I don't know about that.
But that's a bit much for renters, because you're
Right.
gonna all your money's gonna be in repairs and all that kind of stuff, and it gets really crazy. And even for the lower end, like there's properties we have that's worth 120,000, and a renter leaves, and you got to put 20,000 in it because of the damage that was never reported.
Right. Right.
Tearing up
Right.
floors, water damage. It's just horrible. Cabinets coming off the wall. I'm like, who lived here?
Right.
So
Right.
those are the things. And I think that all comes with the territory. And again, Kaneem, you tell me if I'm wrong, because like we're babies into this. It's only been a couple of years for us in terms of probably 5 years of renting property to people and having to manage it. Because I'm the handyman who has to go and fix the toilet.
Man.
Okay.
And some of the stuff I see is just crazy. And even when I rented with an owner's mentality. When I rented, on the property owners loved me.
Right.
Loved me. Oh, I wish I could find someone else like you. I took care of it like it was mine. And I got in trouble because I would pay for stuff that I should have been put on the owner. But my thing is, I'm living here and it happens while I'm here, I should fix it. That was always my mentality.
Yeah, I learned that you are correct about the tenant process, and it's all about screening.
Right.
And on the other half, it's all about insurance.
Okay.
So I when I screen, it is um more towards, do you make 4 times my rent that I'm requesting, and what is your rental history and what is your credit history? So that's on the aspect of you getting in. Now the insurance part is that you have to have rental insurance
Right.
for yourself, and I also put landlord insurance on the property. So when if I'm doing if I got a rental property, I'm going in there and I'm taking a picture of everything. I'm going through every living room, dining
Mhm.
room, kitchen,
This is what you got.
bedroom.
What
Hey,
I
I'm
gave you.
taking pictures of appliances,
Right.
ceiling fans. I'm going outside. I'm taking pictures of all 4 sides of the house.
Right.
Taking a picture of the condenser that's
Right.
outside. If I got any good landscaping, I'm taking a picture of the landscaping. I'm
Right.
taking a picture of everything. And I'm
Right.
submitting all that information to the insurance company. Hey, this is what it looks like on this date
Right.
at this
Yeah.
time. And this is what I want to get insured for. If anything changes, and they're going to vary about how much you're going to get charged a premium. But if
Right.
anything changes with this tenant,
Hmm.
I need to get reimbursed, and you're gonna pay that premium. But I also put that premium into the rent,
Okay.
so it's really the tenant that's paying my landlord insurance.
You.
Okay.
Oh wow. Oh wait.
Mm.
Stop.
Mm.
Stop.
Look at you giving up game. Okay.
You.
Mm.
So that's
Wait.
why.
No.
He said, "Can't move forward. Can't move
We, we,
forward from
we,
here."
we got to drink
Can't
that
move
in. Is that it, Pastor?
Yeah.
Because that was a bar you
So
dropped, bro.
yeah. So 3 things you just said that I never gave consideration to because it was always 3x the rent. That's number one.
Okay.
Because for me, it's just hard to find people that are renting that
He
make
said, "Just one level, just level
4x,
thinking." Right.
right?
Right.
But I like the thinking because anybody who's making 4x the rent in a lot of cases can afford to purchase, but they probably have an issue credit wise, right? So now they become the project because
Well, let me interject, Pastor. Pastor, it's not that they got they can purchase. They don't want to purchase. They
You
don't
want
want to
that?
whatever
have
reason,
responsibility.
So you want
Yeah,
that
they don't
money?
want to purchase yet. Right.
yes,
I
I
got
mean,
yeah, for whatever
we're talking
reason,
about a generation
yeah,
that don't want to cut the grass.
you. Right.
We're
Hmm.
talking about a generation that don't really want to do much but wake up and be digital.
Right.
right. It
You
should be an
feel what I'm
apartment.
saying? So I mean, my
Oh.
rents and all that goes into the rent.
Right.
I'm
Right.
gonna make sure the grass is cut.
Oh
All you gotta
wow.
do is live your life, or however your
Wow.
life is living.
Nice.
See, I didn't see. Okay, so
I need my grass cut. I
that's
need
where
it.
I'm going. That's why I didn't want to go any further because you're saying you take care of the landscaping. So you put all of that into the rent,
Wow.
and all they have to do is live in the house.
That's
Nice.
what you do at an apartment, right? You don't
Right.
you don't cut the grass at an
Absolutely. But I never looked at it like that at a house. I'm like, if you want to be in a house, that means you want to do yard work, or else you should be in an apartment,
They
right? But
not you though,
I'm
bro.
with you. I'm
They
with you
not you.
because the amount of work that we've had to do with landscaping, I get it. I'm like, wow, that makes sense. Okay,
Right. Right. Right.
but never put any consideration to it. But the other thing is with insurance. Now you talked about insurance because you said that because we take all the pictures and everything like that, right? We do all that. You have insurance, but I guess I have been naive in what the insurance is willing to cover. But what you're saying is you're willing to pay the premium because you roll the premium into the rent.
That's correct.
Right.
Hmm.
That's good.
Correct. I mean, and it's not gonna be.
Yeah, no, Brent. I know.
I mean, it's only gonna at most maybe. Let's say so. I do all my rentals. I get landlord insurance through USAA.
Okay.
So when I get all my information, I call. I never do it online. I always call
Right.
because I ain't gonna get all my answers typing nothing in. We need to go back and forth, back and
Right.
forth. So I just tell them this is what I got, and I need landlord insurance. This is how much it was appraised for.
Right.
This is what I want covered. So it may be appraised for, let's say, 250,
Right.
but I want coverage just for everything at 280. And I'm sending you pictures of why I want 280, blah, blah, blah. It might go up
Right.
$30, $40.
Nice.
I mean, it's not going to be ridiculous.
Nice.
You know what I'm saying? So I just roll that over. So instead of you paying $1,500 a month, you paying $1,550.
But that makes sense.
You paying, it's just whatever that extra is,
Right.
roll it over. Because you still
because you make these decisions before you even put it on the market, so it's nobody's business, man.
Wow.
So hold on, let me go back a question. Dwayne had asked, do you trust wholesalers?
I trust wholesalers to find me properties that I couldn't find on my own.
Okay.
Do I trust their numbers? Do I trust their formula? Do I trust the information that they're giving me?
Right.
A little bit. I believe it's on such and such a street, in such and such a county. I believe that, you know what I'm saying? But is the comps what they say? Because they'll give you a list of comps.
Okay.
I mean, they'll put, but some of the comps might be from a year ago.
Right.
Some of them might be from 2 miles away. Some of them might not even be in the same zip code. I mean, it just depends on, because you get the address and you look it up yourself. You know what I'm saying? So you can use their comps, but I would do my own because I don't have access to the MLS. So I got to kind of like I do it twofold. So I look it up on Realtor.com. I go through the information, look what's sold in the last 3 months, and then I do the same thing on Redfin.com and look it up for the last 3 months. And then I kind of like get a median in the middle. Okay. Somewhere I'm close. You know what I'm saying? I'm not too far away.
Right.
So and that's how I get my comps.
Okay. We need to talk.
Yeah.
Side note.
Yeah.
You got access to MLS? Okay. Now you do.
You need someone to drive around and do the physical work.
Now you got access.
All three of us about to talk.
Listen, let me ask this question. What about someone who's, because I've had people come and ask, wanting to get into the market, right? But they want to do a hard money loan. Did you talk about that already?
No.
Well, not a little bit, but it glossed over. I mean, when I was talking about my concept, I was talking about it a little, but we didn't go in depth into it.
Let's dig into it.
So do we have time to do that, AD?
Sure do. I'm gonna run a quick ad. We're gonna come right back. Listen, this is your opportunity to share. We dropping some nuggets to giving you some value. Be a part of the community. Text LW into 84576. Tag somebody that you've had this conversation with, because we've all had this conversation about real estate. All right. So we'll be right back. You are watching and listening to the Brothers of Legacy. We don't stand out. We stand up. All right. So stay tuned and we'll be right back. This episode is brought to you by StreamYard. Ready to go live? Go to bit.ly/StreamYard BOL. That's bit.ly/StreamYard BOL. This episode is also brought to you by Self. Build credit now. Go to bit.ly/now build credit. bit.ly/now build credit.
All right, fellas, I got about 5 minutes before I got to get up out of here.
Oh. You're on mute, AD. You're on mute, AD.
Froze. But y'all can see me, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, now we got you. We can hear you now.
My ad is stuck and I don't see nothing. All right. So, all right, we're going to hit this last one, hard money loans, and the concept that you was talking about in the beginning. Give us the 5-minute synopsis. And listen, we're going to revisit. We're going to have Kaneem back. Let's go.
Yeah. I don't even know if we have 5 minutes is not going to get us through hard money.
No, I mean,
I already knows that.
There's so many levels to it. You know what I'm saying? Because hard money and private money, and I mean, they similar, but they different. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, private money is not a bank. Hard money usually is some type of bank form. So, but I mean, like I said, we can get in depth to it because
Okay.
I talk real estate all day, man. That's just
Awesome.
Yeah.
I like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because I got a lot of questions on that one, on that piece right to AD. So,
Okay,
so we can't do that in 5 minutes. Let's bring Kaneem back.
Yes, we're gonna have him back. I'll get with him and we'll schedule a time next week. Monday, we're gonna be talking about the critical race theory. So we're gonna schedule a time between Tuesday and Friday. We're gonna have Kaneem back if he has the scheduling and possibility. We're definitely gonna talk about the collaboration, some of the ideas he started presenting during the course of this conversation, as far as how to build a team. And what I also want to talk about is, has anybody ever considered doing the Airbnb? All right, so
we're gonna talk about that too.
Boom, that's what I'm talking about. So cliffhanger, join our community. Text LW into 84576. Text LW into 84576, where you don't get any conversation like this anywhere on the internet. And I'm excited. I love it. So we look forward to seeing you guys Monday. We're going to dig deeper into these conversations, and we look forward to seeing you. Same place, same channel. Know that we love you. God loves you more. We look forward to seeing you next week. Peace out.
Let's go.
I didn't want to catch that morning. Good morning. Welcome to another edition. Good morning. Everybody.
This episode is brought to you by StreamYard. Ready to go live? Go to bit.ly/StreamYard BOL. That's bit.ly/StreamYard BOL. This episode is also brought to you by Self. Build credit now. Go to bit.ly